My name is Amy Mozzie, and today I'm going to talk to you about the all-new 2025 Centurion Ri245. This boat is 24.5 feet, it accommodates 16 passengers, and it has as much as 5,650 pounds of ballast. It is our most sold Centurion, and right now I'm going to walk you through it and let you know why. So as we start at the bow of the Ri245, you start to understand that this boat has that signature Ri series look. That has a lot to do with the headlights. They're recessed. They're used for docking, but also they add to the style of the boat, and they are ultra powerful. So each of these lights is 2,400 lumens strong. That is 4,800 lumens a side. So when you're ready to have them on to light your way to the dock, they're there, powerful as they can be. But even off, they give that signature Centurion style that is all Ri. One other item that you might notice on the bow of the Ri245 is this little POV camera mounted on this huge stainless steel piece. What this is part of the ROVE system from Centurion. It's standard on all RIs. It stands for range of view, and it gives you multiple views and all of that information about the status of your boat. This camera gives you a viewpoint of what's in front of the bow. A lot of the times the boats are so tall you can't necessarily see the water directly in front of you. This camera gives you that vantage point. There's also a second camera that gives you a point of view from the back of the boat. You can see the rider in tow. You can see what's behind the boat when you're backing up. Again, these boats have a lot of freeboard. They're tall, they sit high out of the water, so you want to make sure you can always see what's happening around you. The other piece of the ROVE is fuel information. So the range of view of the status of your boat includes the fact that you can see how much fuel you've used, how much you have left, how many gallons you're using per hour when you're surfing versus when you're cruising across the lake. It gives you all of the information you need, a range of viewpoints of the status of your Ri245. When we talk about signature style elements of the Ri245, you can't get past the windshield, which behind me has a custom colored A-pillar. This A-pillar is available in 18 different colors to perfectly match the rest of the boat, or the stylish new vent by Roswell. This vent, also available in 18 different colors, is beautifully styled to match the boat. It is that simple, but it was made to go there. Not only does the Ri245 have all new vents by Roswell Marine for this year, and they are custom colorable in 18 different colors, the ram fill vent has another significance. The fact that it brings on almost 3,000 pounds of water in 90 seconds. Yes, that fast. And it brings that water into the midsection of the boat, which gives you no bow rise even when you're fully loaded for wake surfing. This boat has 5,650 pounds of ballast available total, and more than half of that fills in 90 seconds. Again, when we're talking customizable elements on the Ri245, I can't skip over the Centurion Lit badge. What this badge gives you is the ability to color the surround around the Centurion name 18 different colors. It's also made by Roswell and goes through that really vigorous chem film process that prepares the surface of the metal before the color is introduced. So it allows the color to last and shine brightly for years to come. And speaking of that, this also lights up. So at night, you can have a lit Centurion where it shows everybody on the lake just whose boat you have. This particular 2025 Ri245 is configured as a Warrior Edition. What does that mean? Well, this has the core gel coat scheme chosen for this boat, which you see this big panel of silver here. But you can exchange this silver with 36 other available colors from Centurion. But the designation for a Warrior Edition gives you, the customer, the opportunity to change the deck base, which is the base that flows through the interior of the boat. So the gel coat color that you'll have on the inside of the boat, in this case is mist blue, and that can be kind of mismatched with the hull base, which is white on this boat. So you can choose those colors independent of one another. It gives you another layer of customization because our warriors deserve it. Now, one other thing you cannot miss on a Warrior Edition Centurion Ri245 is the Predator Power Tower by Roswell. This tower is large and in charge, and it gives you just that much shade when you're on the inside of the boat and at any sun angle. It does that with the help of 4 Linac linear actuators that are actually smart. They talk to one another and make sure they're all in just the right position, whether they're going down, going up, and they keep the bimini parallel to the floor as they do that motion. And you can tow both a rider and tow this boat on a trailer with this tower at any height with the bimini up. But that's the functionality piece of the Predator Power Tower. You see the beauty here, but what you've also got is the ability to adorn this tower with beautiful options. What you've got here next to me is the Bombshell 2.0 rack from Roswell. It accommodates 2 as wide as 23-inch surfboards in total and complete safety. You also have the new available single shell rack from Roswell, which is made for 1 single surfboard on edge. That keeps it from getting beat on by the sun because it's not at that parallel angle. So that helps in the longevity and the life of your surfboard that we know you've invested so much into. Now, new for 2025, you also have the ability to color the center section of the Predator Power Tower differently than the legs. So in this case, we've got a choice between white, which you see here, or black on the legs of the tower. But then we've opted for mist blue on the center section. You have 17 other color choices for this center section. That color choice on the center section also determines the color choice on your Centurion badge here, as well as your rack color choices. So you've got that level of customization built into a Predator Power Tower that's extremely functional, and gosh darn it, it looks good. Another option available for the Centurion Ri245 is these bumper cleats. These are really cool because they allow you to put the bumper on the boat and have it here and not take up one of your other cleats where you can tie off to the dock. And when you're done with it, you simply squeeze it in, put it away in the storage area. We even have a special storage place made just to take these bumper cleats. They're really convenient. But it's not the only convenient thing we built into these boats. You also have dual gas fills. What that means is we have a gas fill on either side of the boat. So no matter what side your tow vehicle fills on, you can pull straight into the fuel station, fuel up on both sides without having to flip the boat around, and then you're off and running. So we talked about the ballast that's available in the Ri245, 5,650 pounds. But that ballast only is part of the equation for making a major surf wave or wakeboard wake. A lot of it has to do with the running surface. We call it the Opti-V hull. What's important about this hull is that it is a deep V. It is a V all day long. It has 20 degrees of dead rise at the transom, and it's an extreme at the bow. So it cuts through the chop like nobody's business, but it has balance built into it. So the balance gives you side-to-side weight shift balance, which is not typical of a deep V. But we have these optimized lifting triangles located on the back corners of the running surface, and they allow the boat to run extremely level in the water. They also give you a very symmetrical wakeboard wake and a really replicatable wake surf wave side to side. In other words, it looks identical from the goofy side to the regular and back again. That gives you what you need to make those waves and wakes exactly how you want them. The other dynamic with the Opti-V hull, just because of that deep V, is a smooth, rough water ride. Yes, it gives you waves, wakes, and ride, all from the Opti-V hull. We couldn't talk about all of the brand new vents that are on the RI series for 2025 from Roswell Marine without talking about the fresh air vent that has the model designator built into it as well as a pull-up cleat. This vent can also be custom colored, 18 different color choices optionally on the Ri245, but it's beautiful any color that you put it in. So the beauty of the all-new Roswell Marine vents on the RI series is stunning. Don't get me wrong, but there's also a lot of function built into these, like the standard onboard battery charger from NOCO. This particular battery charger has been worked into the vent design so that you can plug your boat in from outside. It's super convenient to do, whether you're in a garage on the trailer or your boat's at the dock. you've got that opportunity. You also have another pop-in cleat or pop-up cleat built into this vent as well. So it's as functional as it is beautiful. So we talked a lot about the running surface of the Ri245, but a lot of the other wondrous magic that happens behind the Ri245 happens from right under here, from under the swim step. This is where you can see in the center the Silent Stinger wake plate, which changes the running attitude of the boat and allows you to shape your surf wave and your wakeboard wake at any different position. It also allows you underneath this swim step to change the wave from side to side with Quick Surf Pro. So Quick Surf actually goes down opposite the surf side, creating lift, and it displaces the surf corner, which makes that curl behind the boat. And when you choose to switch sides, you just touch the screen at the dash, and in 1.8 seconds, that wave transfers. It is that easy. So another thing you might notice underneath the swim step of your Ri245, that is if you choose this option, are the underwater lights. Our underwater lights are made by a company called Technique, and they are extremely powerful. In fact, they are so bright, you're gonna have to wear shades. Another option that's available on the 2025 Centurion Ri245 is the double shift. This is a driver assist system that allows the back of the boat to be shifted from port to starboard and back again. And this allows you to fine tune your docking, getting your boat on a trailer, or even turning around to pick up a rider tightly. It helps you in a lot of different ways. In conjunction with a little bit of throttle and your steering wheel position, you can get this baby into any space. As I step up onto the swim step of the Ri245, I start to realize even how beautiful the swim step is on this boat. Not only is it shaped with a really signature shape for Centurion, it also has some rocker to it, so it rolls off towards the rear edge, allowing you to get up more easily. It has some handles tooled into it. And the Gator Step flooring scheme that we chose for this boat is the Salute to Service scheme. It's a 3-layer scheme, and you have choices of 15 different colors on each layer. This one is beautiful. And I've got access to a lot of cool things back here. Not just the beauty of the swim step, but some storage, a great place to sit, some cup holders close by, which I need, as well as the remote for the stereo system. I have all of this at my fingertips, even sitting here on the back of the boat. It's extremely comfortable. It's beautiful. It's one of the places I want to be. As I move up just one level to the sun pad of the Ri245, the comfort extends. I've got this great place to lay out or to just sit down, and I have an amazing backrest that gives me some support while I'm up here. As I step down into the 2025 Centurion Ri245, it's a pretty clear path. I have a nice fiberglass Gator stepped step built into this rear seat that I can step down onto. I can also sit on it. It's comfortable, but it allows me to not step down onto my upholstery. So even if I had shoes on, I don't have to worry about any kind of damage to my vinyl on the way into the boat. It gives you peace of mind. It's super functional. It's comfortable, and it looks good. The interior of the Ri245 is extremely accommodating. It seats as many as 16 people, but it's also very comfortable. That has a lot to do with the way it's made. So it's made with spraddling vinyl. This particular interior is an all hex scheme. What that means is the texture of the vinyl is our hex texture. It allows for the vinyl to be cooler, even though it's maybe a darker color. We also offer a full cool touch scheme, which gives you the ultra amount of cold on the interior vinyl. It's cooler by 25 degrees, and that's pretty big when you're talking about darker colors in direct sun. So you have that choice. This particular interior is also sewn together with Teflon thread, which is extremely strong and durable, and it's available in 14 different colors for this year. You also have 16 color choices on the vinyl colors themselves. You have a main, a base, an accent 1, an accent 2, and a welt that you can choose from. You also might notice that on this interior, we have our new two-tone stitch pattern, which is a pattern that's exclusive to the Warrior Edition. It gives you two different colors of thread kind of melded into one design. It's beautiful, and it's new for this year. And it gives another custom element to this Ri245. So this interior is not only comfortable, it's durable, and it's very unique to how I want it to look. Another very unique option in the 2025 Centurion Ri245 is the floor scheme option. In this particular boat, we have our Salute to Service flooring scheme. This scheme is a 3-layer scheme, and you have 15 different color choices on each layer. It has stars and stripes and a flag that flows through the interior on the floor of this boat. It really gives it a signature element. But what's most important to us is what it signifies, and that is our salute to service. There's a portion of the proceeds from this particular option that we donate to service charities that we work with throughout the year, namely Operation Get Out, Operation Wake Surf, and Our Heroes Tour. These organizations work with us to honor servicemen and women and first responders, frontline workers that allow us to live the life on the water that we want to through their service and sacrifice. We can never honor them enough. This is just a small token of our appreciation. As large as this interior is, it wouldn't be an Ri245 without limo lights. This interior really benefits from that customizable RGBW colored lighting that shines onto the floor almost like a luxury limo just picked you up, kind of because it did. But that is standard this year in the RI series, that limo lighting, as well as the slide seat, but it fulfills that ambiance that we're looking for in an RI series boat. This is a luxury ride. The Ri245 is extremely accommodating, not only to 16 people, but to all of their stuff or even drinks that they want to have. In the side panel, you have as many as 5 cup holders. So maybe everybody has one drink, maybe each person has a couple. It's totally up to you, but there's a lot of cup holders in this boat, especially in the lounge. Also in the side panel, you can customize your Ri245 continually with 37 different gel coat color choices on the side panel. You also have a lit Centurion badge. You have access to USB and USB-C charging. You also have another clamping wireless cell phone holder that allows you to charge your phone without taking up a cup holder and make sure that you always know where that phone is and have easy access to it. You also have a couple of your Roswell speakers in the side panel spilling tunes onto the lounge. But if you still have other big gear items that need to be put away, never fear. We have storage underneath every single lounge seat, and it is hinged, shocked storage. So even if you're trying to get something heavy and maybe a little unwieldy into a storage area, you can open up the hatch and hands-free, you can leave it open and load your gear into this storage area. It's really that easy. You also have a friction storage mat that lines the inside of this storage area, so it keeps your items from shifting even when the boat is underway. And it looks nice too. It's extremely consistent looking even inside the storage area. We've thought of everything. We wanted to make the seating whatever you need it to be, extremely versatile, especially for how you want to use your boat on the water. This optional flip-up lean back allows for another rear-facing passenger so that you can see the rider in tow and all the action that's happening behind the boat comfortably. You also have the standard slide seat with optional lean backs that you can plug into one of 4 receptacles along the edge of this slide seat. So I can have a forward-facing lean back, I can have a rear-facing lean back. I could also opt for a table to fit into any one of those receptacles. And together with my rear lean back behind the driver's seat, I can customize the interior of this boat any way my passengers want to sit. So when we talk about the Predator Power Tower, one of the signature elements of this particular tower is the bimini. Because it's a rigid frame, it has a canvas that can stay up even when you're towing it down the road on a trailer. But what you may not understand is how big this bimini is. It is 9 feet long. So it covers almost the entire lounge in the Ri245. And if you want more shade, we even offer an extension from So Long that can go or add another 5 to 8 feet onto this bimini. Even at surf speeds, you can use that extension. So really, you could be shaded on the swim step. So we talked a lot about the Predator Power Tower and optional elements that can be added to it. New for this year is the SurroundFire System from Roswell Marine. This is a 16 speaker stereo system that you can get in any of the RI models with a Predator Power Tower. This particular system is powerful. When I say powerful, I mean powerful. In fact, it comes with warning stickers that the decibel level could exceed 120 decibels. Now it can be dangerous to your ears, so you really need to be careful when listening to this system. However, the clarity of the system has a lot to do with where the speakers are positioned, as well as what kind of speakers they are. These are R1 Pros that you see in the tower above me. There are 6 of them. They are essentially 12-inch speakers, and they have a down-firing speaker that has a 360-degree cone that throws 360 degrees of sound from the top of the speaker onto the inside of the boat, as well as 4 rear-firing speakers that can get that sound back to the rider. It is clear, it is loud, or can be if you outfit it that way with your volume control at the dash, but it's also a beautiful looking system. The enclosures you see behind me can be custom colored with up to 18 different color choices, and they're also RGBW lit, so you can change the colors with your mood. So you can get the music on for your mood, get the color on for your mood. We've talked a lot about the way that the Predator Power Tower functions. We've talked about some of the options available on it, but let me show you how the Bombshell 2.0 racks that come with the Predator Power Tower package, how they work. They are swivel racks, and they can swivel either straight back when you're towing so that you can keep the bugs off this beautiful finish, and colored if you may. And then you can swivel it all the way in so you can load those boards as wide as 23 inches right into the racks from here. I don't have to reach out over the water and twist my back in order to get that big board in the rack. They're really, really easy to use and extremely safe for your surfboard, but they're also beautiful, as you can see. And speaking of the beauty and the custom element of these racks, you also have that customization available on the side panels of the Predator Power Tower. So I can custom color these panels, one of 37 different gel coat colors, as well as a second accent if I choose. So I can make this tower look exactly how I want it to. So in this 24.5-foot boat, the Ri245 offers all kinds of interior accommodation to as many as 16 people, which is this boat's capacity. And when you have that many people in that amount of space, they're gonna make some trash. So what we've got for you is a trash chute built in to this rear-facing lean back where I can throw the trash away. It's out of sight, out of mind. I can not worry about keeping the interior of this boat clean, even if it's packed with people. And some of those people can sit facing the rider comfortably with this lean back. Yes, it is that accommodating. So why should the driver get to have all the cool gadgets? That's what we asked ourselves. When we designed the 2025 Ri245, we wanted the passenger to have that wireless clamping cell phone charger just like the driver does, and that comes standard for 2025. You also have a couple cup holders here as a passenger. You're leaning back up against some cavernous storage that you can be in charge of. You've also got a beautiful new glove box lid that is perfectly lit with the Centurion logo and the Warrior. So the passenger is finally getting their due in the Ri245. The captain's seat has always been a coveted position in the boat, of course. But now, with the Cobra Racing driver's seat that we offer in the RI series, it is definitely the ultimate place of comfort and control. So I have comfort because it's a high back seat. I've got these sides on it that really keep me well positioned in the seat, no matter how I might be driving. And I've got the ability to quickly throw a leg over through this cut and talk to anybody in the back, to see my rider behind me if I'm not comfortable with the view I have in the rear view mirror or with the Rove range of view system. I can check everything out very quickly. Or if we're just floating, lounging around, I can swivel all the way, lean back, put my feet up. You know, I might have to ask the observer to move if I want to get really comfortable. But to me, this is the real power of the captain's seat. Brand new for 2025 in the RI series is the Captive side-by-side touch vision dash. This dash is beautiful, functional, and it doesn't obstruct my view of the water ahead of me. The brow of this dash is extremely sleek and low, and it goes along with the design perfectly, and it doesn't obstruct any of my vision of the water in front of me. Yet, I have control through these 14-inch screens that are mounted side by side of everything. Almost every system in the boat can be controlled through this screen. I have this year standard in an Ri245, I have a seat heater that I can control at this dash. I have a heater. I have docking lights, my interior lights, underwater lights, you name it, and I have control through this system. Also standard for this year is this quad heated vent system, which is a part of the dash. So when it's a cool day on the water, the driver can be warm. Even my hands, when they're on the steering wheel, have two vents that are blowing directly on my hands to keep me nice and cozy while I'm controlling this Ri245. I love that about this dash system. It's very, very functional. It's also beautiful because the RGBWs that we have, the lighting, colorable lighting that we have available in this boat, can also show through these heater vents and can be changed to any color that I want. So whatever mood I happen to be in, that's the color that I'm going to have. Today, I want to match the boat, as you can see, so I'm blue. But not in a sad way, just in a very customizable, pretty way. I also have control over my stereo system with the actual stereo face from my wet sound system that controls this SurroundFire system from Roswell in the boat. So I can easily turn up and down my volume with a knob. So when I'm going back around to pick up a rider and I want to make sure I can hear how they're doing in the water, I can easily turn this down, get the information I need from the rider, and then crank the tunes back up, and we're off on the way to our next surf session. It's that easy to control. I also have control with my wireless clamping cell phone holder, so I never miss anything that's happening on my phone. I can also have control over my center stinger wake plate with my left hand using these handy dandy sport shifters. And then with my right hand, I have control over my zero offset speed. So I can pull that top shifter towards me and it allows the speed to increase. And I can see that increase on my screen. If I pull the bottom shifter towards me, I can decrease my speed. I never have to take my eyes off the water to control those systems of the boat. You also have ultimate control with our new lit throttle. Not only is it beautiful because I can change the color or the lighting outline of this throttle with my RGBW controls, but I've got a really good handle on the throttle here. And this is because where my arm rests. This new arm rest is perfectly placed. It's just wide enough to give me the control I need to not get a tired arm when I'm either throttling up or throttling down or just getting ready for that next throttle movement I need to make. This particular throttle angle is perfect for perfect control of the boat. You have so much control in the captain's seat of the Ri245 that I've run out of things to talk about that we don't control in this boat. But one thing I failed to mention is the control of the Predator power tower. It's right here by the right knee of the driver. And it's easily controlled because the up arrow sends the tower up. The down arrow sends the tower down. It goes down in about 17 seconds, goes up in about 21. It's very easy to control, but you can also stop the tower at any position that you would like, depending on your sun's angle. And it's all controllable by the driver. So on a hot day on the water, you always want quick access to your cooler. Well, the Ri245 has you covered because the in-floor cooler is never obstructed by anybody sitting on it or being tucked away in a storage area. It is easily accessible by the driver, by the observer, by anybody that just gets up and opens this big ice chest up. And it's insulated by the subfloor portion, the chassis system of the boat, so it'll keep your ice, your drinks cool. But if you choose to put dry goods in it, you can dump this out, put towels, vests, whatever you need quick access to right here on the floor. With room for 16 people, you definitely need more than one trash can. That's why we put a trash chute in the walkthrough of the Ri245 in addition to the one that's in the lean back. We did that so you always have a place for trash. I'm a mom, I know. We want to get that stuff up and out of the way, out of sight, out of mind, and then I feel much better about our overall boating experience. The cleaner, the better. Part of the new SurroundFire system from Roswell is 16 speakers. 7 of them are R1 Pros. This one is mounted in the bow, firing back towards the main lounge, giving you even more sound that spills into the main section of the boat. This stereo system is indescribable. You have to hear it to believe it. New for this year is a standard filler cushion for your bow. So you can make your bow a playpen like this, or you can make it into a little lounge. Either way, a couple people can sit up here in style and comfort. I love the bow. This is one of my favorite places in the boat. And you would think, isn't it kind of bouncy up here? But really it's not. Not only do I have access to cup holders, PowerPoints, speakers, grab handles if the driver's getting kind of crazy, I also can make this a playpen. I can put my optional armrest down and really lounge. And even if I'm out here in the bow on a cool day, I can bring my standard heater snorkel up under my towel, keep myself warm. Really, I've got a lot of options in the bow. But by far, the best thing about this seating area is the fact that even on a rough day on the water, in the Ri245, this is a smooth ride. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the all-new 2025 Ri245. This boat is amazing, and I know you and your family and friends would absolutely adore it. But don't take my word for it. Visit your local Centurion dealer and let us prove it to you today.